Hi, 602 is the life, or Viv. This is the first video on my rant channel, and I've chose a kinda talked about subject if you're in the fandom. I'm a fan of One Direction, and I'm a Directioner, and I've been there since the X Factor. Not that I'm trying to prove a point or anything, but I'm just saying. And there's been a video that has kinda became famous. It's been famous for a couple of days in the fandom itself. And the video is by Up All Night 1DNG, and the title was Dear Directioner / One Direction Horror Story. And if you haven't seen the video yet, I really suggest watching the video before you listen to this, because you'll be really confused, so I'll post a link in the description. But the video was about a girl who had went and seen One Direction and came out, and the tour van was there, and she was basically crushed and trampled on and physically hurt by other fans. And as much as it was a horror story, I would kinda categorise it myself as an eye-opener instead of a horror story. I mean, it was definitely an eye-opener for me. I never thought it would be as violent as this, but obviously my point has been proved. If you watch the video, that it is an eye-opener, and it is really violent. So she talked about it like very calmly, although she did get a bit emotional sometimes, but she was as calm as possible, which you need to do when you're making a video like that. You can't be all crying and stuff, because it just won't be believable. Although I have seen some people finding it fake and thinking it's a drama starter, I definitely don't think it is. If anything, I think it's a warning that people need to calm down. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the comparison between American fans and UK fans. They have said plenty of times that American fans are calmer and UK fans are a bit more hyper. Obviously this proves that American fans are just the same around the boys. I don't think anybody is as calm as each other. I think it's all the same when it comes to like seeing them. Something just happens when you see a celebrity, and most people, the natural reaction is to go crazy and try and get their attention. And I suppose everyone does this, unless you're used to seeing celebrities. But I don't think American fans are calmer. I'm not trying to start something, because I think they're the same as UK fans. All that I can say is that I know American fans are lovely. I know plenty of American people. I know plenty of American Directioners, and they're lovely. But I feel UK fans got One Direction to where they are right now by voting, as did Irish fans. They've really got One Direction in their feet, and you have a right to like them, but I'm just saying UK fans definitely got them in their feet. Personally, I think One Direction are going too fast. I think they've not even been a band for 2 years, and I think they should slow down. I think they're hitting the US. I mean, everyone wants to be famous in the US, but they're taking it far too quickly, and I think they should just have some time where they can decide what they want to do before battering into it. I mean, I thought the idea with them going in tour with Big Time Rush was just horrible. Not that I have anything against Big Time Rush, but I thought it was just, we're going too fast. And I think they should have slowed down. Again, why I didn't agree with the management. And I don't think the boys like it particularly. I don't think, I mean, they seem to be enjoying it, but I wouldn't say that they really wanted to hit it as quickly. I mean, being as far away from the UK, especially Niall, who's from Ireland, and I think they would miss it a bit too much, and they should have just had some time to be a band more. If you're talking about the video, I mean, she said herself that they didn't look happy when they walked out and all these fans were screaming and trampling over her. And I don't know how many times they've said in the interviews that they want people to be calm and they don't want them to scream and cry. And I don't think they're saying that just for the answer. I think they actually mean it. I think they've seen things happening and they're like, okay, don't start a fight. Because that happens. I've heard plenty of stories where people have started fighting, and that's just crazy. I don't think the boys were happy about how much violence is out there at the gates. I think it would make them feel terrified. I mean, Niall's claustrophobic, and after they got mobbed in France, I was just shocked. I mean, and that was just terrifying, and I couldn't picture myself being them. So yeah, there's another point. I feel sorry for them when they see fans like that. Other fandoms, I mean, I know some the Wanted fans, not getting against Wanted fans. I know some great Wanted fans in my school, and one of my friends made a Facebook status talking about it, and she was completely right when she was talking about how they acted. I think it could be quite embarrassing and also a bit shocking to other fandoms as well as, the One Direction one. I mean, it's putting a bad example out to how we act, and not all fans act like that. So I thought that was, something to take into consideration as well, considering how they would see us. And we're not crazy. Well, most of us aren't. Safety, that's a big issue. I mean, not saying that she is like an understatement, but if it had been someone younger then and they had been trampled on, I just can't imagine what it would be like. I mean, she had a broken ankle, granted, and maybe it wasn't the best for her to go out, but she wanted to see them, as any fan would want to. And that was just really dangerous. I mean, she talked about how her foot was pushed in, how it was going into her ribs, and yeah, that was pretty scary. That would be scary if it was me. I don't know anyone who wouldn't find that terrifying. So, safety. I mean, it's only going to be safe and you're only going to enjoy it if people are all calm, if they're calm and not quiet, but calm. That's the only time when you'll enjoy it, because you'll become frightened if everyone is running, slobbering all over these 5 perfectly normal boys. So yeah, safety. And I was on Tumblr a couple of days ago, and there was just something in the main page, my timeline or whatever it is, I'm not a big Tumblr user, called 1D No Drama or something like that. And the idea was that not all fans were as crazy as the ones that had been there. And of course, not all fans are as crazy. There's plenty of normal fans who would know how to act. But I personally thought the 1D No Drama thing was a bit offensive to the girl who was there, because it was acting as if, she was just trying to start something. And I'm pretty sure that's probably not what they were trying to get across with the 1D No Drama thing. But you shouldn't have to. I mean, the idea was you wore a white shirt and you wrote something in your hand. I think you shouldn't have to write something in your hand or wear something to show that you actually have sanity. I think you should just be able to show by the way you act, and you shouldn't have to prove it. Just by the way you act will tell people what kind of fan you are. So I'm not completely against the 1D No Drama thing, but it's not something I'd do. And another point was original directioners who had been there since Torn. I think it is quite stressful for them if they haven't met the boys and it's been so long, and your mind just might, as soon as you see them, your mind might just flip and you want to run and hug them and kiss them, even though the management would probably stab you. So yeah, I think it is quite stressful for people like that, and I feel sorry for them, and everyone should get their fair chance. Again, with them going to the USA, but I'm going to speak about that in another rant. And I don't think, I personally don't think, I know I keep saying personally, but I do have a lot of opinions. I don't think original directioners would be as crazy as the newer fans. I think they would know how the boys wanted you to be like. They'd know how each of the boys reacted to stuff like that. They'd know each of the boys' kind of quirks when it came to crowds and stuff. So I think they wouldn't be as, violent, especially some of the older fans and some of the younger. I mean, I'm quite young and I'd know how to deal with stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of feel a bit sorry for original directioners. I mean, I am one and I'd love to meet the boys, but I feel sorry for most of us. So I'm going to end this with my final opinion, and the final opinion is just keep calm when you meet the boys and don't go crazy, because if you do, not only do you look like a fool, but you're putting everybody else in danger, and it looks horrifying to the One Direction. I mean, I can't imagine how it would look from their perspective. And they stress the fact that you just should be calm and have a talk, a nice chat with them, and get an autograph and have a hug if the management don't slap you before. And I think people should just learn how to act when it comes to meeting celebrities. Yeah, it is quite intimidating most of the time, but it doesn't have to be if you know how to act, and you know not to push and shove and scream and not listen to when people are actually getting hurt. I think if everybody just stays the same, everyone has different reactions, but if everyone just stays the same, then you've got a better chance of meeting them, you'll look better, and there won't be any fights, and hopefully there won't be another video uploaded of how someone was badly injured there. So that's my rant about the whole drama going on with the One Direction horror story. Don't start any fights on Twitter or anything. I'm going to put a link up there, and I'd rather you never, because my inbox is always spammed. But if you want to put your opinion in the comments, then that's fine. I might not reply to it, because there might be a lot if this does get somewhat famous, but if you really want to talk to me about it, you can PM me and stuff. So yeah, that's all for now. Bye.